Hello ladies and gentlemen, guys and ghouls, my name's Kevin and welcome to my channel, The Art of Horror. Today we'll be discussing American Horror Story Apocalypse, Episode 4. Could it be Satan? In this episode we have flashbacks to Hogwarts, magic treasure troll, bad hair days, sitting for your warlock learner's permit, several seasons being the seasoning in a seasoned stew, some old friends pop in, some new heads just pop, his level is over 4,000. And we meet some witches and warlocks. At the beginning of the show, we see Michael Langdon sense that the witches have arrived to resurrect their friends. After the beginning credits roll, we're treated to a flashback episode, in which we get a glimpse into Michael Langdon's life. We see him adopted by Ms. Mead, that is, according to the show, the real Ms. Mead, and not an android facsimile, which I'm still very much contentious and dubious about. My gut's still telling me that she is human. I've said this before, but that could be a very clever ruse or red herring by the writers. And part of me is hoping that she actually turns out to be an android and the writers got to mess with my head that much. But once again, what better way to have someone's complete and utter loyalty than to have them think of themselves as a robot. The original Ms. Mead is a practicing Satanist. She is raising a young Michael Langdon, with Satanism being part of his fundamental upbringing. Ms. Mead is verbally abused by a butcher, which pisses off Michael Langdon very quickly, at which point we see him use telekinesis to murder the butcher behind the counter, using his mind to telekinetically control knives, which promptly fly through the air and dispatch of the butcher. Michael Langdon is arrested for this, and whilst being held for questioning, is rescued by a warlock from the Hawthorne School for Boys, who has seen a demonstration of Michael Langdon's power through the CCTV in the interview room, where Michael Langdon's telekinetic powers are used to murder the interviewing police officer. He's taken back to the Hawthorne School for Boys, where he undergoes a test to see if he is a level 4 warlock, which he not only excels at, but surpasses all of their expectations, proving himself to be extremely powerful. The witches are invited to and arrive at the Hawthorne School for Boys. The Hawthorne School for Boys appears to be on the very site where the Roanoke house from American Horror Story Roanoke once stood. In fact, this episode we see several seasons of American Horror Story intersecting together. We get to visit the Hotel Cortez, where we are reunited with Mr. March and also Queenie. Mr. March from the Hotel series, of course, and Queenie from the Coven series. It's very interesting to see the collision between the different series of American Horror Story. In this episode we see Roanoke, Murder House, Hotel, and Coven all meet at a crossroads. I thought this was extremely cool fan service, and really enjoyed seeing all these characters, places, and events tie together. We see Michael Langdon redeem and prove himself to the witches by travelling to the Hotel Cortez and rescuing Queenie. He then travels to Hell, where he rescues Madison Montgomery, who we also know from the season Coven. We also see the witches have performed their own test, similar to the one the warlocks have performed to discover Michael Langdon's abilities. We see during this test that they are testing none other than Mallory. Mallory's own tests draw parallels with Michael Langdon's. But where Michael Langdon is chastised by some of the warlocks for going above what they have asked for within the test, the witches seem to revel when Mallory goes beyond what she was asked to do. I don't think that Michael Langdon purely rescued the ghosts of Madison and Queenie just to prove himself to the witches, but of course that remains to be seen. When Michael returns with the spirits, Cordelia promptly faints, and I found it amusing. There was a slow motion scene where Queenie is very concerned and she goes running to Cordelia's aid, and in that same moment Madison is just doing one big eye roll and huff. It's these little touches and understanding their characters that are just the cherry on top of the icing. And so far, 4 episodes in, I'm hooked. With so many twists and turns so far, I can't even begin to imagine where the series is going to end up by its finale. And just before I sign off for this video, special mention has to go to Myrtle Snow's hair for this episode. I actually wish Evan Peters' character of Mr. Gallant was still alive when she arrived, just to hear what he had to say about her hair. This has been Kevin for The Art of Horror. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to my channel and would like to see more videos like this from me, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.